In the jagged spine of the world, nestled in a shadowed cleft of Blackthorn Valley, stood a castle of midnight stone and twisting ivy. It was said to be alive with whispers. Few dared to approach it. Fewer still returned. Inside dwelt Lady Virelya, the Sorceress of Blackthorn Keep. Ageless, silver-haired with eyes like the storm. Magic was ancient, power unbound. Kingdoms once bowed to her, now she lived alone. Until Kaelen arrived. He was barely more than a boy, barely 20, fresh from the academy, wild-eyed with promise and pride. He had come seeking knowledge. What he found was her. She took him in, not kindly, not cruelly, with the indifference of someone who has seen 10,000 men before him and expected little more. But Kaelen surprised her. He worked tirelessly, he learned quickly, and he watched her with eyes that burned not just with curiosity, but desire. She took notice of this. Their days were filled with rituals and rune lore, potions, and summoning circles. But at night, when the hearth flickered low and the winds howled through the stone halls, Virelya would sometimes find him in a library, still poring over dusty grimoires by candlelight. "You should rest," she'd say, her voice silk on velvet. He'd glance up, startled. "I'm not tired," he said. She would smile then, a slow, dangerous smile that could melt wax. Not yet. It began with touch, a hand on his shoulder as she leaned over him, a whisper of breath against his neck. Her fingers, long and elegant, brushed parchment and skin alike. Then, one storm last night, Kaelen stood in the summoning chamber, breathing hard, his shirt soaked through from the rain. He had just channeled a spell far beyond his skill, dangerous, reckless. She appeared in the doorway, her robe of deep violet barely tied, her skin glowing faintly in the stormlight. "You could have died," she said, approaching. Her voice trembled with power or something else. "I wanted to prove I was ready," he said. "For what?" she said. He met her eyes. "For you." She closed the distance between them. Lightning split the sky outside. "You have no idea what you're asking for," she said. "Then show me," he responded. That night, he became more than a student. She guided him, not gently, but thoroughly. Her hands knew every inch of him before he even dared to touch her. Her lips traced arcane runes across his skin. Their bodies danced like twin spells, cast in perfect harmony, his youthful eagerness a bright flame, her experience an ancient smoldering fire. She whispered forgotten names into his mouth, made him tremble with eldritch pleasure. And when he cried out, the stones of the keep echoed back in approval. Weeks passed, then months. Kaelen grew in power and confidence, but his bond to her grew deeper and more tangled. She was his mistress in every sense, and though she never said the word, he knew he was hers. But what neither foresaw was that their bond would awaken something long buried, a prophecy written in the stars about a sorceress who would take a lover from the flames of youth, and from their union, magic itself would be reborn. But that is another story. Time doesn't move the same way in her chambers. The torches never go out. The air always smells faintly of mirror, smoke, and skin. The bed is always warm, as it remembers us even when we leave. Since the night she took me, no, claimed me, I have lived in a state of low, delicious ache. My days are study, incantations, endless translations of forbidden grimoires. My nights are hers, and I crave the dark more with each sunset. She plays me like an instrument she forged herself, tuning my every reaction, every gasp, until I can no longer tell the difference between lust and magic. I think that's her design. One evening, after a particularly grueling lesson in elemental anchoring, she summoned me to her bath. A massive marble pool fed by streaming springs deep beneath the keep. She sat naked in the water, surrounded by candles floating like petals. She beckoned without a word. When I stepped in, the heat hit me like a drug. I knelt before her. She lifted one leg from the water, resting her foot on my chest. "Wash me," she said. I didn't speak. I didn't need to. I took the cloth, trembling, and began with her feet, then her thighs. My hands moved upward, worshipping and hesitant. But hesitation didn't please her. "Is that how you touch power?" she said. I swallowed, heart pounding. "No." "Then touch me." I did. Her body is older than the castle and somehow more alive. Her breasts full and soft, her belly flat and firm, her thighs thick with strength. Nothing about her is young, but everything about her is eternal. When I touched her, it was like kneeling at an altar, but she wouldn't let me worship quietly. She pulled me to her, mouth to mouth, fingers wrapped around me under the water. Her grip was expert, cruel, controlled. She didn't stroke, she held. "You're mine, Kaelen. Say it," she said. "I'm yours. Say it like you mean it." "I belong to you," I responded. Only then did she let go. Later, she laid me out on silken sheets, tying me with invisible cords I could feel, but not see. Arcane bonds. My body spread and helpless. She mounted me slowly, letting my tip or her heat inch by inch, washing my face the whole time. Her control drove me wild. My hips tried to move, but her magic held me still. "You'll come when I say," she whispered into my ear, her breast brushing my chest, her hair a veil of starlight around us. She rode me with exquisite cruelty, slowing whenever I rose too close to the edge. Her body gripped me like a vice, slick and hot and all-consuming. Every movement was a lesson in restraint. Every denial, a new kind of pain. "Beg me," she said. "Please." "Please what, my apprentice?" "Please, Lady Virelya. God is sorceress. Please let me." "Now," she said, and I did. Hard, helpless, unmade. Afterward, she curled around me like a satisfied cat. I lay in her arms, ruined and floating. Her fingers brushed the sweat from my brow. "You're learning," she murmured. "I don't want to learn from anyone else," I said. "You won't." There was something in her voice when she said it. Not possession, not affection, actually. A promise and a warning. Maybe both. But something is changing. The more she takes from me, the stronger I become. The more I give her, the more I feel her inside me, not just her body, but her essence. Her magic doesn't just touch me anymore. It's in me. And I wonder, am I still her apprentice? Or her next vessel? You've just tasted a drop of the dark. Ready for more? Subscribe to Amorous Sanctum and let the shadows pull you deeper into a world of forbidden fantasy and wicked romance. Have a dark desire you love to see unfold? Whisper it in the comments. We adore your imagination. Until we meet again, don't be afraid to crave.